Bitcoin flash crash. Did you expect it though? So welcome to the channel. If you are new, please do subscribe, hit the bell button, and obviously like. Now, kind of expected this, kind of expected a rug pull. Now, it was a quick one, and it is actually quite bullish, technically, for Bitcoin, which is obviously good. Now, let me just explain this. So, sleeping. It was an expensive sleep for some people, a lot of liquidations, but Bitcoin did suffer quite a big drop. It's a big correction. Now, just be careful. Obviously, these corrections do obviously occur. It is cryptocurrency. A $12,000 rejection. It freaking did sink like. So, it says it's the biggest market cap valuation drop for a long, long time. Actually, that could be probably one of the biggest within 10 minutes. 10 whole minutes. Crazy. Liquidated nearly 1.4 billion positions across all major exchanges. That was noted by Bybit. Data provider it's the data, not the exchange, the data provider. Apologies. The drop was triggered 144 million sell liquidations, forcing the closure of long positions. So an absolute rug pull. And I've been talking about rug pulls for a while, saying be careful, they will be a pull. A correction, a sharp correction. But I want to explain why the sharp correction is actually really, really good for the industry and Bitcoin itself. Why I believe that we could actually be going up to 12K, potentially up to 14K. Let's see where we can go. But I want to make it very, very vitally clear. Trading, taking profits, all kinds of like that. Even as an investor, always remember to take profits. I've been banging that drum for the last 4 or 5 weeks. If you've seen my videos, you've obviously seen that. I took profits on certain altcoins. I've been sitting in Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I don't really, the value proposition of it, it's fine. I'm not looking to accumulate Bitcoin through trading Bitcoin, essentially, as in selling Bitcoin, rebuying low. I do that with altcoins. I buy low, sell high. Simple as that. So, in all fairness, this is a big, meaty bit of volatility, which is often needed in the market because we've had some issues with volatility. It has been pretty crappy. It has been pretty shit. But I want to make clear as well, Ethereum has had absolute monumental runs. It's had a big, big drop as well. It went to $415 and it managed to drop quite a big chunk at that time as well. So just be careful. But I do want to talk about certain things. Obviously, we have a CME gap still. I want to talk about this first because it's obviously very vitally important. Top end of this hasn't filled yet. We've not fully filled the CME gap. It might fill very, very soon. I'm thinking long term, in terms of this gap has been here for a long term, essentially. But I'm thinking that this will get hit, obviously, very, very soon. I think we will retest that. We've obviously created a high. You can see all this level here. It's all gone. Bullish case for Bitcoin. What I want to talk about, though, is the main chart. Because obviously, CME doesn't have that big drop in it because it wasn't actually open at the time. There's a few little scenarios I want to talk about. First things first, let's remove all the stuff. This wick went and penetrated the literally $12,162. Huge, huge pump. I literally woke up on this candle, right? Not even going into this candle, essentially. Kind of funny at the time because I looked at my portfolio and was like, oh my God, we're at 12K. And then it just dumped. It just went bang. So, very, very interesting. But ultimately, one thing that is vitally important that you need to understand here is this entire range here, buyers. That is a very, very bullish case, and I think we are going to go higher. Personally, I think corrections are obviously very, very good. We needed it. We needed a sharp correction, and this here is a bearish case on my chart if it rejects this area. But I want to talk about that in a second. Just give me a minute. But I want to just talk about quickly that if you go from the top of this down to the bottom, that was a 13% move in a matter of 10 to 15 minutes. An absolute zippy zappy zubu. Basically, absolutely yo-yo effect. Crazy, realistically. But bullish case is, it carried on. It soaked up the orders, got new liquidity, and it is continuing going upwards, which is always good to see. But let's talk a little bit about this little scenario here. Now, this is a bearish scenario first, as analysis. We've got resistance in and around this region of this area if you go to the lower time frames, you can see this in more detail. So essentially what this is obviously the drop, the bottom, swing back up into this level. There's a load of resistance where we are right now, but there's also resistance in and around this level here, the 11.5 region of the Fibonacci. If it gets through here, fair enough, but I personally would not recommend anyone take any short positions or sell positions in that region. Personally, I don't think it's worth it. I definitely do not think it is worth it at all. I personally think we are going to go straight back up to this level and retest this region, in my honest opinion. When you look at the 4-hour time frame, the big drop, this is now support level. The chances of us going up to this level is, yeah, give it a go. I think that is more likely than anything at the moment. However, if it does go into this region here and it does turn around, we will go down to this support level, which is the weekly level, which is that 10.5 region, that 10.4, 10.5 region. We struggled to break for such a long period of time, but see where this wick is. But this is why I'm kind of thinking bullish. This whole region here had a soaking of orders. Absolute battle with orders, battlefield, literally simple as that. So that's my outlook on it so far. But what I will say is this: I want to talk about fair value, return of investment. There's always people that will always continuously buy Bitcoin. I personally don't buy Bitcoin. I stack Bitcoin through altcoins, and I want to explain how I do it. But please make sure you understand one thing. If you believe in any asset, as in you've done your research, you've read the reports, you've got all the information, the data, and all the information that you need and require, and you've made that sound decision that you are in this coin, in this asset, in whatever it is, please make sure one thing: you buy it at a good price, you sell it for profit, and you ultimately rebuy more low. There's people that do the fundamental research, they like it when it's high, they then sell it when it's low, move away from it, and then when it does well again, they rebuy it. That's where losers in the market are. So let's talk about one other thing. And I want to talk about this because I've obviously mentioned this a few times now, my VeChain. Top tip, you may not even notice this, and I want to give you this as an absolute Brucey bonus tip. When Bitcoin pumps, dominance changes. But what we've seen is obviously altcoins flourishing with the likes of Ethereum, XRP as well, and other top assets in the top area of the market capitalization, the bigger coins. What you don't realize is your VeChain, for example, here might be doing incredibly well in fiat, in USD values, but actually your Bitcoin is sinking. If you look at your Bitcoin values, it's sinking. So I saw that 207 Satoshis. I rebought a bit back in here in this spot level, got 16,000 extra VeChain. I'm still out of that position. I'm holding in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's obviously gone to the moon, essentially, since that buy order. Bitcoin is still Bitcoin. It doesn't change. But ultimately, this does. This is going down. The amount that I sold into Bitcoin from the VeChain profit that I took from the big, massive run will make me more VeChain for free. No obligation at all, and it will keep my Bitcoin flowing. If I rebuy back and VeChain starts going up again in Satoshi values, I make more Bitcoin as value. That is how I grow my Bitcoin. So that's a massive, massive tip there for you. I'm hoping you like it. But I want to talk about Ethereum as well, because Ethereum is obviously going on a run. Ethereum is obviously doing very, very well, as you can see here, the 4-hour time frame. This is very bullish. This is actually going up much higher. We are back at this support level, which was, well, resistance now, which was previous support in the past. But we are looking very, very strong. Very, very strong right now. So in terms of me, I'm bullish. You know, I was very, very reserved over the past few months due to the COVID-19, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be buying Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. I'm accumulating what I've got. I'm building what I've got. I will buy at the lows, simple as that. But I will not be telling people to buy into assets at the time of now. There is other assets you can buy that have not moved, but the likes of Ethereum, we're getting into risk territory here. It's like a Bitcoin, we're getting into risk territory here. You've got to be thinking outside the box, how to grow your crypto. What about if you've got an altcoin that does well? What about if you say, for example, you buy into a coin like Monaco, for example, which is at a massive pump this morning? Why not put 20% of that into Ethereum, for example, and get extra Ethereum? There's all kinds of different things that you can do to grow an asset without actually purchasing it off an exchange directly from your debit card, for example. So that is today's video done pretty much. A bit of analysis. My thoughts are, I think we're going to go up. I think Bitcoin will retest that 12k level. As you can see, Ethereum is the market leader right now by far. It wouldn't shock me at all to see Ethereum go and retest its $400 psychological level again. But for me, Bitcoin, resistance area in and around this level, but a bit of momentum and a bit of a push, we will probably retest this 12k level. In my honest opinion, if I zoom out enough, we're going to start seeing potentially these levels here penetrated, but it takes time. Let's just see what happens. This whole area, 14k, I think that is vitally important level to try and capture for Bitcoin, but it needs demand, it needs some serious buyers, it needs some serious pushing now. But for me, I do believe long term it has to get over 14k. If it doesn't get over 14k, it's going to struggle, and then we may start seeing a bit of a lull. We may start seeing some sideways action, and we may see a proper correction, like a real big correction, which not many people want to hear.